Alright guys, quick video on how to clean the trout. We just caught these trout just this morning, and they're really easy to clean. Usually if I was out in the stream, out in the water, I would just gut it quick, rinse it off, and I would just cook it with the scales on. Because the trout, these rainbow trout here, actually all trout, they have very tiny scales. But since I'm home, I'm just going to wash it out really quick, so I'm just going to scale it quick, get the super tiny scales off, and I'll just rinse it out, gut it out, and I'll show you guys how to do that. The first thing that I do is I just grab a knife. This just happens to be a fillet knife, but I just scrape against the scales, against the grain. Just get all the slime off and the scales off. As you can see, the scales they're really tiny, and when you're out on the water, you can, even if you cook it with the scales on, you can't even taste it, you can't even feel it. So, but like I said, since I'm home, I'm just gonna clean it, and I'll just do this to both sides of the fish. Alright, the next thing that you want to do is, after you've scaled the fish, I just rinsed it off, and now I'm just gonna gut it. Take the fish here. Here's the vent, or the anus. Just take your knife, and you're just gonna cut all the way up here. Now we gilled them out, we bled them out while we're on the water, so the gills are out here, but you just cut it, open it up, and take out the guts. Grab the gills and pull out. Get rid of that. You'll see that there is a bloodline in the trout here. To clean out this bloodline, all you do is just take your nail and you just run it along the bloodline here, and basically just scoop it out this way. Once you get that out, you just rinse out the fish and you're ready to cook. Alright, now that my trout is rinsed off and nice and clean, as you can see on the inside here, it's nice and clean here, rinsed it out. I just have to season it up now and throw it in the oven or the frying pan. Today I'm just going to broil it in the oven, so I'll show you guys how I do that. Alright, cooking trout is really easy. Just salt, pepper, and garlic powder usually would do the trick. But today, I'm just going to throw on some seasoned salt, which I think everyone has. So just throw this, sprinkle some of this over the trout, and then I'm just going to throw some either oyster sauce or some teriyaki sauce at the end here. Alright, the next thing is you just throw it on a pan with some foil. Sprinkle on a little bit of olive oil and throw it in the oven. Now with trout, like all fish, it doesn't take long to cook, so I'm just going to broil it until the top side is golden brown, and then I'll just flip the fish over and do the same thing to the other side, and then it should be ready to go. Alright, so I have this broil on low for about 5 minutes now, and it's starting to be nice and brown, and so I'm just going to baste it quick with this teriyaki sauce. Just going to throw a little bit of that on it, throw it back in the oven for another 5 minutes or so. Do the same thing on the other side. Alright, and then the last thing I do is I just squeeze either some lemon or some lime over the fish, and we are good to go. Look at this. Nice and pink flesh.